Chapter XXXXXIII. What a chapter name. Chapter 33. I haven't been doing this place as, like, often. I think after I got to max level, I kind of just stopped grinding here, which is probably a bad idea, because now I don't have a lot of tickets. But, the only reason to do this thing is, well, not the only reason, but a good reason is for this bad boy. Although they're not super overpowered stigmas, they're really good for, like, just filler pieces. I recently switched out my, Fischl middle piece for, what's it called? The Vil-V, piece that we got a few patches ago. And then it boosts your total damage by, like, 10% when she's off-field, and Fischl is off-field 99% of the time. But, regardless. Final crater. Oh, we unlock a new zone, do we? Original Highland, the final crater, must be unlocked after completing absolute mission astounding feat in story chapter part 1. Okay. Track the target, let's go. Story time. I love iced coffee. This place again. Yes. This place again. I hope they add more of these challenges. I hope, like, there's more of these, like, kind of, 15 stage challenges. But here we are. Oh, Kiana. Hello. The aftershock of the battle coming from deep within the tunnel hit something. I don't have enough time to read this shit, man. I don't read at the speed of sound. Oh, Fu Hua! Her voice felt like a hammer, knocking everyone into silence. Time seemed to freeze for a few seconds before someone spoke up. Can you feel it? Li Zushang asked us. Let me take this out of my pocket really quickly before we continue. Yep, there you go. Can we feel it? Yep, it's faint, but I'm certain that's the energy fluctuation unique to practices of Edge of Taishuan. What? And it came from somewhere far below. A great master, no Fu Hua is deep in a bitter struggle. Her of sentience left first. Probably not because she thinks we can't catch up, but because she thinks we're already too late. Sorry, what? I need to turn this down a bit. It's messing with my brain. Just a tad bit. Turn it down to a 20. It's on 25. We'll turn it down to a 20. Fu Hua isn't good in the situation, but Kevin... If he's the same Kevin I know, then he's probably planning to fight for his ambition. At any rate, we need to do something about Fu Hua. If there's something that Fu Hua needs to fight for, we're a part of it too. In that case, let's get moving. Procrastinating is a bad habit. We should discuss who goes and who stays. I agree. There's no such sign yet, but we can't have the people of New Atra with World Serpent, and we'll need to back us up here. We'll need people to back us up. Bronya, I'll stay. I have a good relationship with the people of New Atra. I should be able to organize everyone quickly, should emergencies arise. Also, the signal of Sea of Control can be more easily detected by Durandal's Sumru or Kiana's authority. That makes me a signaler, doesn't it? You're not a signaler, but a lighthouse. Watch over us. They were able to exchange thoughts with just a glance. Actually, they talked for quite a bit, but fair enough. It's up to Seelie then. I'll do my best. Be careful, Seelie. There are multiple grey serpents that are highly dangerous. I understand. She had to part with her sister again just after they were reunited. But she had no regrets. Such was the life of a Valkyrie. I'll take care of the rear. The most important thing now is to find a way to reach and help Fu Hua. As for scouting, while we are talking, Kiana is already jumping down the hole. There's an explosion. Is that Kevin? He's just been in this hole? Bro, why didn't we just jump down before? Can you find a path to avoid that attack? I don't know. But this confirms one thing at least. Although we're in a proper world, the power of finality or something else has made this space far more dangerous than Earth. Is there a direction that's relatively safer? Yes, but it's so obvious that it's become suspicious. Suspicious? It's close by. It's the shaft beneath this elevator, to be precise. This platform that is lifted on us, it can only go up and down a short distance if I'm not mistaken. Not exactly, its structure clearly allows it to... descend. Travel down further. There was no need for that like pause there. You could have just said travel down further without the zoom. There's no need. I guess even if it's obviously a trap, we can't give up trying. In that case, Bronya will try to hack into this elevator's control program and see what she can do. Meanwhile, you continue searching for other potential routes. I don't like the freedom of not being able to skip when I want to skip right now. I don't know why they're doing it in this chapter. I just want to read and then move on. Alright. Like, let me just go skip straight away. I don't care to listen to them. I can get the information by reading. Try it again. Or try it again, rather. The nearby space is, of course, in chaos. Waiting is an option. We have to see how the others are doing. Wait, what did Kiana even try to do? May, I heard Kiana say you have a big red dragon. The only problem is I haven't regained my full power, so I can't summon Kurikara. What about having Kiana teleport us to where Fuhua is? That's what I've been thinking. But in terms of imaginary, the surrounding space is rising and falling like the sea, and we don't know Fuhua's exact location. If we rush into action, I can't guarantee everyone's safety. Speaking of exact location, I've been thinking about something. Looks like we all woke up in drastically different places on the moon. Kiana and Bronya and I woke up separately in fragmentary bubble universes. Durandal, I, and Sushang woke up in New Atra, so did Sora and Sora, Chan, and Ko. What will Fuhua's situation be? Maybe she went looking for Kevin, all the more reasons to help her. Moreover, if we don't press Kevin, we may never learn the truth about Honkai. The truth about Honkai, bro, is just a fucking thing, innit? Bro, the truth about Honkai Shmonkai, dude. We already know. Oh, this is pretty deep. If we get knocked down from here, it'll be like that time when... Oh, I need to stop thinking about it. Did you find anything new, Durandal? Nothing new. But one thing caught my attention. If the elevator is able to go down, why could it only move between 2 floors? Compared to the power... to a power blocked it... Compared to a power blocked it... Or we didn't activate it correctly. I think the most probable reason is someone did it on purpose. That makes sense, as the sanctuary isn't far away. Too bad we didn't find any other operating mechanisms after checking. Durandal noticed Kiana staring at her. Before I got to know you, I thought you were a bruiser, but I've realized that you're a master of all trades and knowledgeable in every field. I was just guessing, actually. It's not going to help us. What we really need is the ability to solve problems, which is what you and Bronya are doing instead of talking about them. Well, I now feel a bit embarrassed. Let's both do our best. Sure. Bronya fixed the elevator, eh? How's it, Bronya? Took some time, but it came out alright. However, the moment Bronya hacked in, Bronya felt a power that doesn't belong to herself. It's arguably ubiquitous in the elevator's control program. This elevator is, without a doubt, a trap. And we have no choice. What do you think, Durandal? If our opponents want to see us, I say we go see them. I knew you'd prefer acting immediately to planning prudently. If you are stalled by an elevator... Okay, this is a quote. If you are stalled by an elevator, then you're not qualified to meet Kevin. I'm afraid that's our opponent's message. Sealy stays. Does Durandal go with us? Oh, I thought Durandal would have stayed back, or like Lee Sushang. No, we can't jump off. That's cringe. Alright. Elevator music. Dum da 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 dum dum dum. Dum da 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 dum dum. Dum da 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 dum dum dum. Dum da 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 dum dum. Dum dum. Da 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 dum. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh, they're talking. Oh, my bad. Yeah, reaching the bottom. We have to learn to adapt, and things will sort themselves out. Oh, I don't think they will. Evan, story time, pretty lore heavy for part 1. Nothing's happened so far, so we'll see. Tequila. Bum, ba, 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 bum, 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 ba, 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 ba. Nothing's happened so far, so I guess we'll find out if it's lore heavy. Remember to, who is she? Remember to a phrase rather. I want to know what I can do. Don't worry, you'll have a lifetime to figure that out. If divided by its long life, it came from a faraway beginning. A time when the suffering had come before the good had begun. No need to continue, Fuhua. I'm Kevin. Oh. Cringe Lord. I've tasted your willpower. Well, I don't think so, actually. I've got more will to give. She could barely hold her sword in her hand. The pain from the reaction was eating away at her exhausted body along her nerves. Less than 3 minutes, that was how long Garuda could last against the diabolical. But she managed to hold her sword in her hand. The battle isn't over yet, Kevin. I don't intend to fight you to the death. So you ought to pay attention to your surroundings. The instant she shifted focus from the battle, she understood what he meant. Several corporeal divine keys had appeared from nowhere on the empty ramp. No need to be confused, they were always here. As our epitaph? Frozen in time. Kua, in the past, Sue and I partially kept the truth about finality from you. Before you entered the cryopod, we said finality would destroy everything and we'd leave the sanctuary to build a new civilization. That much is true. And when you woke up 5,000 years ago, we told you a new civilization had sprouted. That was merely a sophistry and self-deception. There's only been one budding of humanity. The difference between these two eras only lies in the changes after the start. I feel like Kevin's a very weird man. I feel like all of the Flame Chasers are a bunch of fucking cringe lords. Bro, just die and go away. I'm just gonna say it. All of them, just die and go away. You're all 50,000 years old. Get over it. Hit the fucking sack. Just go away. I'm gonna say it. Her heart pounded. She was aware she did not know the whole truth, but even so, she had never envisioned this possibility. The worst possibility. The start, which is 50,000 years ago for us? Yes. 50,000 years before us and 50,000 years before Ride and May, humans descended from the same group of ancestors. Except for ourselves. She froze for a long time before grasping what that meant. He meant the history of the Earth civilization was but a 50,000 year cycle. In fact, pioneers and stigmata were the outliers brought into this era by the Great Hibernation. The errors they experienced were widely different only due to the changes in initial conditions and random processes. So, this is the authority of finality. Yes, this is the authority of finality. Cycling the planet, erasing civilizations, resetting everything to the start. Finality is time. Wow, what profanity, what intellect. Finality is time. So put your sword away. I have no intention of continuing our fight. It will not do you, me, or anyone else any good. Kevin, you know I won't give in that easily. You're like Teresa. That character died a while ago, didn't they? She's been gone for at least a fucking millennia. Teresa? Not long ago, we had a duel. It was quite a while ago, Kevin. It's been a few months. Worry not, right now she is sleeping in a dream. When Project Stigma is completed, she will live freely in a newborn world like all of you. You were powerless, of course. And so am I. Fuhua was silent. But her pale face wore a small smile. I want to know what I can do. My power is to show you what the people of this era are willing to pay for what they believe in. A belief that's difficult to realize isn't worth holding on to. That's what Otto was told many times, and that man achieved greatness. Besides, their road ahead is in no way clear. Kevin, as I see it, everyone's future is equally chaotic and equally unclear. Just like us from 50,000 years ago, we relied on our stubborn strength and untenable belief. Was that not enough to keep civilization alive? And since we could, those we watch over can do even better. Fuhua. Those are empty words. Well, I know. That's exactly why, Kevin, my comrade. That's exactly why Fuhua became your enemy. Yeah, Kevin, you're in the wrong here. I can't disobey Fuhua. She is the best. He saw Teresa's spirit in Fuhua's eyes. It was not... It was what no amount of setback or suffering could keep down. It was the hope for a better future and the resolve to sacrifice for a cause. I see. If this is your choice, so be it. Come at me. He had seen this sort of verve before in a certain harmonica-playing boy. With each step, Fuhua's body slowed. With each swing, Fuhua's wounds worsened. Garuda's restorative properties barely made a difference. But she did not stop. Like a moth after a flame, I won't allow this battle to be your end. Oh, Kevin, what are you gonna do? Not fully wanting to, he shot down the moth. There was no answer. Having made it across 50,000 years, she leaned against a broken wall, quietly, sword in hand. I promise you, will live in a world without Honkai. And those you believe in will receive the best ending possible. When the time comes, a tombstone of our era will be erected by your hands. Oh, footsteps. The sound of footsteps came from the distance, interrupting his musing. It was someone who should not have appeared here according to Project Stigma. Oh. I thought you didn't want to get involved, actually. Who the fuck is that? I can't tell. After all, who doesn't like a heroine? Ah, fuck, I can't tell these voices apart. I can't tell these voices apart anymore. It sounds like someone. The heroines of this era find themselves in another mire, as they expected. And even Li Sushang, who left home for adventure at a young age, could not help but lament the current situation. People say seeing is believing. But here in imaginary space, it's one strange thing after another. What the fuck? Where are we? The black fire flaring up, an elevator that won't go down, space suddenly distorting. I didn't know this Kevin you feared has so many skills. If Great Master has trained for 5,000 years, he probably didn't waste a day in 50,000 years. I have a feeling it isn't all Kevin's doing. During my days in World Serpent, the Kevin I saw didn't display the ability to overcome the Hersha of the Void. That's not entirely true though. I've been reading a detective novel that says, when you have eliminated all which is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Sushang, that doesn't apply if you don't have any clues. And the point isn't who's trapped us here, but how do we get out and keep going? Kiana's the only thinker. After looking around, they were able to confirm one singular piece of information. While the elevator descended endlessly, space was rapidly rebuilding itself as Kiana and Mei had experienced in mind space. When the light returned, a corner of the extra dimension appeared before them, an eerie, foreboding labyrinth. We're in a labyrinth, so we just need to find its exit. And the best way to do this is to split up, and the first one to find the exit can call the others, but doing so might put us right where our enemy wants us. Bronya was about to cut in, but you beat Bronya to it. Kiana summed it up nicely. Whether this is Kevin's doing or not, those obstacles are clearly meant to slow us down. And giving us a series of choices and situations may just be the way to conceal the tactical intention of taking us down one by one. Unless it's necessary, we should stick together. In that case, to ensure we don't lose any combatant in the imaginary space, please let Sushang and I take the lead in battles. You three make a perfect team. This way, when we come across a tough opponent, you'll be refreshed and ready to fight. Even though I think Durandal's probably stronger than all of them, in a way. Oh, hello. Palatinus Equinox, I haven't played her ever. Palatinus Equinox. Oh. Oh. Wow. Oh. There are no traps on the path or monsters wanting to jump. Oh, way to speak up, Kiana. There was no monsters to jump out, I'm sure. These are new enemies, though, aren't they? Oh. How does he attack? Regular. Hello? He doesn't actually attack that actively, so I guess maybe it's not that important. Ooh, that's a nice teleport though. Whoa, boom, boom. Bam! They're kind of cool looking. Honestly, I hope they actually added. Oh. I hope these enemies are added as permanent enemies, because I think what the game is lacking in a sense is more humanoid enemies. And I know that kind of sounds weird as we have the whole biologic enemies. They're mostly human. But these kind of just guys walking around, I think the game would benefit from just a few of these ones. I have not listened to a single thing they're saying because I kind of don't like it when they speak during this stuff, just because it's just not in English, really. I wish the game had an English dub. These mid-fight kind of dialogues just kind of prove not my favorite thing to be reading. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, this Palatinus character is quite strong, eh? What the hell? Oh my god, Palatinus Equinox, a bit strong, isn't she? Dun, 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 dun. Might not be very strong, but these assassins just keep coming. Assassins? Bro, they're using two-handed swords. What do you mean, assassin? They're like an endless stream of Honkai beasts. To be quite frank, they'd probably be psychic enemies. They look psychic. Where'd you summon that from, Li Zushang? Where'd that come from? What the hell? Can't just do that. That's weird. It feels like we've been walking forever, but there's still no sign of an exit anywhere. Just like when we were dragged into the Theater of Domination by puppets. I was also brought to the Theater of Domination by Otto. But according to Genius, this area isn't as large as the Theater of Domination. It feels more like the Infinite Cloister. This is a smaller place than the theater? Damn. Infinite Cloister? Dr. Einstein said, during the battle of the second eruption, Siren created a closed space known as Infinite Cloister to trap Kiana's parents. Oh yeah, true, they did do that. Oh, she did do that. But by attacking one point repeatedly with all their might, their attacks tunneled through the Infinite Cloister and forced Siren to separate it from her body. Brute forcing their way through reminds him of a certain flame chaser in the Elysian realm. Calpus? Yeah, Calpus. He told me that if you're ever stuck in the imaginary space, you can breach the space itself by attacking it with everything you got. With that said, it's unclear if this maze is closer to the Theater of Domination, the Infinite Cloister, or the Elysian Realm. Or if it's completely different from all three. This is purely a feeling, but I feel like it's not so much a completed structure as a natural occurrence. The space appears to extend indefinitely, and there isn't really a sense of being closed off. So, like our previous encounter, as a space that's more natural and open, it might grow on its own. This maze will grow as we go, generating new paths. Much like what you and Fuha experienced at the Theater of Domination. But how would you confirm it? By repeatedly testing and comparing data at different locations? Just find the loophole that must exist and you're good. She pointed as far as the eye could see. When we move forward, the path moves forward. So when we stand still, the path also stands still. So what happens when we go somewhere even further than the horizon from here? So you said if we move forward, the path moves... Oh, I get it. Then it's up to Kiana. At the Theater of Domination, the puppets trapped Fuhua and me by tearing down one wall to build the other. Back then, we had to spend a lot of time figuring it out, but with Kiana here, we can get straight to the answer. For Kiana, who had now regained her authority, teleporting in flat space-time was easy. With a snap of her fingers, the black portal appeared before everyone's eyes. And they walked through it like a door. Oh. Back to where we started. It's probably my fault, I'll give it another try. Before blindly trying again, let's analyze what went wrong. You can sense the space is open, but what about the space's shape? Well, it's a bit of a trapezium, actually. While it isn't the same as the infinite cloister, the most confusing element of any maze is how it's shaped. I sometimes like to sit here and try to analyze what some of these characters say. The most confusing element of any maze is how it's shaped. Like, is that true? Like, when I'm in a maze, am I concerned about its shape? I guess I am. That's pretty true. You're kind of like, oh, is it is it a square? Is it a fucking rhombus? A fucking cube? I don't know. I guess they're very, okay, fair enough. That makes sense. Maybe we overlook something. Maybe you overlook something. Kiana closed her eyes. For the Herscher of the Void, perceiving space was effortless. Like taking a breath, like the beat of a heart, constantly happening so long as she is alive. Like the sense of touch or smell, only when she concentrated on it did this seem to occur in her subjective consciousness. Oh, Jesus Christ, we haven't seen this screen in a while. The fucking low-resolution cogwheels. We haven't seen the low-resolution cogwheels in a hot minute. I think it was last time it was Vil V. The veil covering the truth drifted to the ground. Unlike the bridge before, the more distant this space was, the more complex it became on a higher dimension, like turning gears meshed together. It was not only difficult to picture the space or locate a single gear, but also painful as the senses were crushing the mind back and forth. But she refused to quit. After all, her friends were counting on her. With this thought in mind, she opened the portal once more. However, the world seemed to mock her efforts. On the other end of the portal was not the end, but the past. She tried several times, each time changing the position of the doorway and the landing point, but the results were still unsatisfactory. One more try, she screams. Kiana, take a break, you idiot. Sorry, Kiana, but Bronya has been thinking, and the conclusion is, this isn't your problem, it's Bronya making the wrong assumption. Thanks to your efforts, Bronya was able to figure it out so quickly. It's not the maze that's changing, but us. More specifically, there's likely a special force field above us that's following us. This force field makes it so that you can't use your spatial ability beyond the maze. Force field? What do you mean? Bronya should have explained it better. To put it more graphically, it's like an electromagnetic wave. You should know why it can travel through vacuum. A changing electric field gives rise to a changing magnetic field, and vice versa. And so electromagnetic waves continue to travel to infinity. So you mean fuck, this is just weird information at this point. So you mean the space beneath us can extend infinitely on its own like an electromagnetic wave. But if that's true, it should merely form a limited closed loop. Yes, this phenomenon is hard to explain. A field that curls on itself shouldn't form a stable space, but in a bubble universe in the Sea of Quanta, different forces are interacting. Different forces interacting like yin and yang. Oh! The way of the heavens lies in yin and yang, and the way of the earth lies in flexibility and rigidity. The way the human lies in kindness and justice. All things exist because of two conflicting forces. Two conflicting forces? What are you thinking? Well, if two different forces intertwine, they may result in a new balance. Just like, forget it actually. It looks like my guess might accidentally make sense. At the very least, we should at least test if the Herscher and the Stigma Awakened share this dual relationship. You mean, the composition of our team is what caused this maze to trap us? Ah, yes, we've got Herschers and Stigma Awakens. It's just a guess, but it doesn't cost us anything to test it out, right, Bronya? Indeed, we can test the hypothesis as long as we split up appropriately. Let's give it a try. Better than being stuck here. Then I'll stick with Durandal and you three stick together, and we'll go into two separate directions. But how will we contact each other? If the space here doesn't change in a pattern, I need to use my Herscher of Thunder powers to call you. That's one way to do it. Kiana, when you take this, it's a genius, we use a Colston. In most cases, it'll pinpoint our location, but with Maze ability, there shouldn't be any issues. Alright. So we're just splitting up. So essentially what we're doing what we should have done at the start, but you advised against it because this should be fine enough. Let's contact. We don't need to go any further. You don't have to be cautious about experiments after all. Who knows what will happen? Why isn't Kiana's genius working? Look like there's a mishap. Oh, Schrödinger. Schrödinger. Keep that throat refreshed. Is that Schrödinger? Bingo, but if you can hear my voice, then the space you're in is likely no longer stable. That's why we can't receive Kiana's signal. Yes. I was studying this not long ago, want to hear what I found. Of course, we're in a hurry. Just as anxious as you were when you were a child. Don't worry, your concerns and my findings come from the same source. Does this mean the very existence of Stigma Awakened will serve to expand and be a cornerstone of Project Stigma? Very existence of Stigma Awakened, which is just people who put stigmas on, or is Durandal, will serve to expand and be a cornerstone of Project Stigma. Okay. From how you performed afterwards, I need only tell you the bad news at the time. What exactly are you guys talking about? Remember when we discussed that the bubble universe ruled by the moon has nothing to do with Earth? In fact, planets can dominate space only because, astronomically speaking, they are the center of gravity. For the universe, planets may not be different from the pegs on the wall, pinning imaginary endings on the picture that is the galaxy. And when we zoom in on this picture, we can see several holes near Earth. Are you referring to imaginary singularities? Oh fuck, what an image. Just as gravitational singularities form a black hole, an imaginary singularity tears the surface of reality. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing the space the space place, or not the sky place, the sky islands, Saint Freya, Nagazora, or is this Nagazora? One of these two is Nagazora, and then the ice place, Siberia. In contrast, your Stigma Awakened are doing the opposite, which is adding patches of phenomena to the torn reality. Sorry, one second, let me go back and read that again. So, gravitational singularity forms a black hole, an imaginary singularity tears apart the surface of reality, and Stigma Awakened are doing the opposite, which is attaching patches of phenomena to the torn reality. So it's like a pseudo-repairing mechanism. Phenomena. Does it have anything to do with the island Nagamitsu envisioned? The term phenomena may be too obscure. You can understand phenomena as the connections between essences. Hirsch just pushed something simple to its extreme, whereas Stigma Awakened string together different things to create something new. Sure. Life... like, Durandal just starts quoting. Life is a bridge. Its greatness does not come from its purpose. It connects the noon, the dusk, and the dawn. A spontaneous meaning expands in the process. Durandal, that was a beautiful quote. Something like that. It can be understood this way in terms of free will, and not just Stigma Awakened. Based on those two sentences, I hope that everyone can be their own creators, solvers, and saviors. At the very least, as you can see, those Hirsches that have humanity have more or less done that. But we're not here to analyze the meaning of life. The point I was trying to make is, those bearing stigma are like spiders born in spin webs. Project Stigma, in turn, weaves a web so large that it can even bind and absorb finality. But this web is still being woven. It requires the Stigma Awakened and the dreams of others to weave phenomena, irrespective of anyone's will. Fuck me. So the reason Project Stigma exists... actually, if you really think about it, that just kind of does make sense. Project Stigma exists because Stigma Awakened people exist. So, yeah, fair. And this, as I had told Bianca, bad news. But even then, she had told me she was confident that she and her friends could deal with the crisis. As they say, where there's a will, there's a way. Well, Dr. Compass, looks like you found something, yeah? Dr. Compass? Never mind, you can have fun with your nicknames. At any rate, Project Stigma is like weaving a web, and the Hirsches are the sparks that can burn this web before it's done. Exactly! And that's why we're getting some juice in the future. So World Serpent's first step in Project Stigma was to target and seal all Hirscher cores. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yes, and not only that, actually. If a Herrscher can split their power into several parts, they can use this power to weave another web in reverse, like matters forming a solar system under gravity. So then, the Stigma Awakened and Herrschers are like two poles of a magnet. It's not the most accurate analogy, but it's helpful. For example, you think Kiana's genius isn't working, but in reality, time has barely passed for them after you left. That doesn't help me understand anything at all, Schrödinger. You think it's not working, but in reality, time has barely passed for them. Okay. Nani? While time is frozen for them, it's flying by for us. Right, but this makes the previous analogy a lot more complicated. In this space related to Project Stigma, your distance in imaginary space increases exponentially after leaving the three Herrschers. As a result, you can't receive their genius signal because of spatiotemporal desynchronization. Oh, what a word! So if we follow the initial coordinates back, you'll likely find that they only just left. Their Herrscher authorities can affect the imaginary space more than the awakened stigma in you too. This ensures you can close the distance when approaching each other. Well, that's good. We can still return to where we were and tell them what we found. But what then? According to Dr. Compass, we still have to split up, right? One side adds, one side subtracts, and the end result is a looping maze. You're right, but that gives us an opportunity. If we combine our powers, and we put it all into action, we get a positive plus a negative, which is overall, I think, a positive. Go ahead. Oh? We can't see Durandal and Li Susheng. They're so fast. They're so fast, Okay. Oh, May's sensitive. What's wrong, May? Something's off. We haven't gone very far, but they just vanished. They're coming back. They are. What's this about? And then they recount the story. I like Durandal's the only person to use the two-letter word hi. We've got things done and came back. I'm telling you, what we're gonna do will make your jaws drop. We plan to run back to Earth on our legs. In short, we plan to return to Earth from the moon on foot. I know this sounds ridiculous, but let me tell you, I've got a horse. Durandal relays Schrödinger's thoughts on the situation to Kiana and the others. Ah, fuck me. That's the theory. If we are far enough apart, then you who are Herrscher should be able to easily leave this maze, return to the real moon, and reach the bottom of the pit. But then you... The distance between the moon and the Earth is 380 kilometers. If you're physically stronger than Herrschers, Bronya can't fathom how you'll make the journey. With the help of Honkai energy, of course. We plan on borrowing power of Project Stigma. The power of Project Stigma has the opposite effect on Herrschers and the Stigma Awakened. But since we're passively helping Project Stigma weave a web, then this maze must be the hub from which Project Stigma controls Earth. Why though? Remember how I mentioned earlier that the space near the moon was too stable for Sumeru to work? In that case, a Stigma Awakened can't expand the imaginary space spontaneously like we're doing. So World Serpent is quite cautious about operating imaginary space. The area we're in can't be a derived space without practical use. This is, of course, all conjecture. The real proof is this. These are the projections of information captured by Sumeru, Arc City, I believe. They clearly all belong to our Earth. Among them are stations. Very important information here. Roads. Plazas. Parks. Shores and other places we know. You could have just said one of them and I would have known. Not far from us, such jumbled information is rushing toward the moon and is somehow processed and transferred back to Earth. So, as Stigma awakened, we can hitch a ride on Project Stigma to return to Earth and find people that can help. It's hitchhiking and paddling upstream at the same time. I calculated it'll take about 48 hours of flight using Godsbane's thrusters to reach the imaginary area near Earth. Who's Godsbane and what are his thrusters doing? Then we can use Sumru to float to the real space, learn the status of real Earth, and plan from there. Since Dr. Schrodinger noticed Shixel HQ wasn't directly affected by Project Stigma, then Nagamitsu has possibly carried out the first stages of Island Operation. This Island Operation is a set of experimental technologies Shixel gathered from the data they collected over the past 6 months, simply put. By using technologies from the Bubble Universe, it can protect certain locations from an imaginary attack, including Hershra Finality and Project Stigma. Since it's unable to affect the entire Earth, Durandal didn't talk about it. But what if Kevin finds out about your movement and intervenes? Then we will be sealed like you were. But World Serpent won't tamper with this path much with Project Stigma already in progress. What's more likely is that even if they do find out, they won't be able to intervene precisely. They'd risk too much in doing it. I see in that case, it's definitely worth a try. At any rate, being unable to change the situation is the worst thing. But as Hershers, we'll need to figure out our own ways of fighting. Speaking of which, I know something that might be of help. According to Dr. Schrodinger, in the moon pit we were supposed to descend into, there's an extinguished, immovable point. Is it the wreckage of finality? Is that just her, like, full name? The Finality? Fucking hell. It may be connected, but this point seems to be mechanically modified twice. Even Dr. Schrodinger finds its state fascinating. As a wreckage, it resembles both finality and a wormhole partially, which is to say, long ago, someone may have constructed an imaginary path between Earth and Moon using the power of finality. And if we can use it right, it might become a weakness of Project Stigma. Nonetheless, we must be careful about stimulating the power of finality. Compared to World Serpent and Shixel's plans, what we need to do is to find a positive destiny that belongs to us all. A positive destiny! Let everyone live their life to the fullest by following their heart, right? Yes, that was a very good way of putting it, May. That was the message Alicia left behind. She was Kevin's comrade 50,000 years ago, and sacrificed before finality descended? I understand. Perhaps World Serpent, no, Kevin. He wants us to go beyond Project Stigma more than anyone, right? At any rate, we can't just stand by and watch the world we love made into a plaything for those who want to regulate it. Project Stigma got us good, but if we regroup, I mean everyone at Saint Freya, Anti-Entropy, and Shixel, I know we can put together a plan that goes far beyond finality. We can do it. If we could get to Earth, if Dr. Tesla and Nagamitsu were here, they'd agree. They're probably thinking about. Alright, Durandal, let the scientists do their job. Our job, on the other hand, is to find a way back to Earth, right? You're right, we shouldn't waste more time here. So according to Dr. Schrodinger, once you're a distance away, Kiana can use your third void to return us to the real moon. As for Fuhua, she needs your help. Kevin will likely be your opponent. He's not invincible, but it's perhaps too early to battle it out. Right, our main goal is to meet back on Earth. And I've always believed that Kevin isn't an enemy, but a competitor. If this is a game, maybe the first half isn't even halfway through. And yes, winning a battle isn't important. We need to win this war. This is goodbye. Kiana sounds so smart. She's gotten very smart and logical. It's more so logical and like actually thinking. I don't know if it's raw intellect, but it's that. Fucking hell, dude. I'm down to sleep already. We're like 20% through the chapter, I think. We've done like one thing. We've went down an elevator and killed 5 enemies. Fucking hell. And I feel exhausted. Alright. Only this time, there was an uninvited guest in their way. Huh? Oh, for fuck's sake. I guess it does make sense. I just thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be Hair because she's on the front cover. But what's up? Hi, nice to meet you. S-rank Valkyries from Schicksal, rather. Take care of it, Lambda. Who is she? AI Hyperion Lambda, the mysterious person Seely met. You can trust her. Isn't that the name of the AI overseer on Teresa's flagship? The unsinkable ship of eternal reincarnation, it is indeed a source of my birth. But she and I are separate beings. After all, I have a lambda in my name. But if I understand correctly, you are planning to use the energy hub of Project Stigma to attempt retrograding toward Earth, right? That's right. If you're looking for a lift back to Earth, be my guest. Godsbane will work, so long as it has Honkai energy. By using Project Stigma's own conduits, it won't be an issue to bring another traveler. Thank you, but as the term eternal reincarnation points out, I live in a pseudo-time crystal. Compared to you all, I enjoy greater freedom in Project Stigma. In that case, you've chosen a good time to show up here. Was it to tell us something? Exactly! You should have already learned from Seely that finality has already occurred several times throughout history. Additionally, some new information should help you prepare for Kiana and the others' return to Earth. Well, you sure do know a lot. Did Dr. Compass tell you? No, from our point of view, she's observed the future, where you reunite on Earth. That's why she was reluctant to tell Seely the way back. That time wasn't right, I apologize. Wait, observe the future, you say? For Project Stigma, everything happens in the future. This sounds a bit opaque. Technically speaking, my existence is similar to Sumeru in Project Veluca, the pseudo-time crystal. In layman's terms, it's circular time. Of course, circular time doesn't exist on our planet, which is why the crystal is only pseudo. Threads of Destiny and the Cycle of Finality are both unnatural mechanics, so is Project Stigma, which was created to counter them. When the authority of finality is taken away, Project Stigma will inherit its temporal attribute. Only during the construction of Project Stigma will Earth time be non-linear. Bruh. These bots. God damn it, dude. Anyway. Whatever she said, very intricate. I'm struggling to follow. You say you're similar to Sumeru. In what way, though? Meaning that as a part of the pseudo-time crystal, I can see all possible futures of Project Stigma.
Ah, I see. That makes sense. Cabishon, it's weird for Lisa showing understand all those things. She was awakened recently and later traveling all over the world. Yeah, mate, it's fine. She's a smart person.
Just because she's a playful person does not mean she's not smart. So, I Hyperion is like Sumeru. That's it. That's all she could have said. I am Sumeru. Humans rely on time to think, and observation consumes energy. Therefore, I'm not omniscient. Furthermore, for Project Stigma, time is non-linear. And so, because everything happens in the future, I'm able to do what I can to help you. The process is like dreaming. Dreaming? When night puts us to sleep, we become actors playing roles on a stage. What about the day? That is when we learn our roles in the real world. And you didn't come to the theater to play a role, but to see our show. For Finality and Project Stigma, the world is a stage. Only the former cares about ending the story, while the latter cares about continuing the story. Ah, very good analogy. Yeah, so Project Stigma's a bitch. The placement of humans isn't as important. For humans, the end result is quite painful, but not because they're being seen as insignificant. It's quite the opposite, actually. It's because that original force wishes to embrace us and love every one of us in a way beyond us. That's why the origin betrayed finality, and Project Stigma is the worst plan. Finally someone said it! Kevin stinks! Project Stigma sucks! Yes! Fuck Kevin. So Project Stigma uses human stories to set the stage for human civilization, even if it wipes out humanity? That's spot on! Then what about you? You don't exist as humans do you? Yes, but I do hope each of you can have your own story. The machine called I Hyperion Lambda said she could see the future in her dreams. She said she dreamed of the fate of origin and finality, and the end of the signet of deliverance. Yes! The man's dead! He's in the grave! Let's go! Kevin's dead! Ah, that's what I'd like to see. But in spite of that, she said, every second of real history still brought her new surprises. After all, even if the moon only ever faced the earth with one side, each night and in each person's heart, it would be different. Wow, very poetic. I love how Honkai lore is more complicated than my entire university curriculum. Well, well, listen, they make up a lot of fucking shit, though. It's like, when you have the freedom to make up anything you can, that it kind of instantly makes it more complicated because you're using fabricated systems, right? Whilst the university curriculum is quite streamlined, and there's a way that everything happens, depending on the university curriculum, though. Anyway, back to it. We finally made it out. Now we... Oh. Dang it. What is it? I can't sense Fu Hua anywhere. Hirsch of Sentience? No luck. We might have come too late. Kevin shouldn't kill Fu Hua, but... Let's go see Kevin. Alright. Oh. Clapping. Someone's getting fucked? What the hell's happening here? Who's getting clapped? Whose cheeks are getting clapped here? What the hell? Who's there? Without warning, a strange woman appeared before their eyes. She sat peacefully among the ruins of the moon, as though it was not a desolate planet, but a sunny pasture. As though she had grown accustomed to such lonely times over countless days and nights. Hello, everyone. Brave girls are the best. You are... She tilted her head, brought an index finger to her lips, and like an innocent child, she smiled brightly. I'm sure you're all very confused, and that's why I'm here. I'll answer each of your questions. Don't worry, my sire will not interrupt. I'd love to help you out, so before that, please rest a while. This person. So we finally meet, if I'm not mistaken. You're Hare, the initiator of Project Stigma. Oh, our first meeting was hasty, yet you still remember me. That warms my heart. As May already knows who I am, I'll cut my flowery introduction short. And so she jumped down from where she was perched. Yes, I'm codenamed Hare within World Serpent, and I'm in charge of Project Stigma. As for my name, it's Mistletoe Shariak. I still have a problem with her being called Shariak, but whatever, I shall not complain. Whatever. Shariak? Yes, but I'm not a human. I'm a crystal of the Shariak stigma. You don't seem to know what a stigma crystal is. Let's not rush things. As you came from afar, I assume you haven't seen the final crater yet. Let's talk while we walk, shall we? Yeah, whatever. You're all concerned about Fu Hua, right? Can I move? Can we move? Moving? Any movers? Sire wouldn't want to hurt Fu Hua, only temporarily making her unable to fight. Well, that's essentially the same fucking thing, isn't it? I don't want to hurt her, I just want to make her unable to resist. Hey, Kevin, relax, buddy. Relax, bucko. Before talking about Sire, where were we? You said you're a crystal of the Shariak stigma. Oh, thank you, Bronyo. Anyway, let's begin with who I am. Crystal is no metaphor. I'm not human, but a brand new species brought to this world by the Stigmata Project. To borrow a classical term, I'm a form. I'm a form. That's not a classical term. I have no idea what it means. Maybe you met with enemies similar to me in the previous mazes. They're seeds of ideas, artificial life temporarily staying in an incomplete state. Since they've not yet matured into forms, they tend to be hostile, which is why they attacked you while you were there. After all, Project Stigma is not yet complete. Even Stigmata themselves need some tuning. Easy for you to say, but if we take it literally, the purpose of Project Stigma is to create something like you, an existence between humans and Stigmata. That's right, I expected no less from you, but as a product of Project Stigma, we're more of a means than an end. What do you mean? We're a vehicle for civilization, just like humanity, though maybe that's too abstract. Let me explain with an simple. Classic typos in Honkai, they always mess up one fucking letter. Let me explain with an example. Bro, it's a example. Let me explain with an example. I guess an makes sense, but I think I would have used a with a example. An example? Maybe I'm the fucking idiot. Maybe I can't speak English. Holy shit. What's the... Oh, the example's teleporting away. Oh, cheers. Cheers about that here. Maybe I don't fucking know the English language at this point. Jesus Christ. Can I just run away? No, there's nothing over here, is there? No, that's fine. I have to fucking follow this woman around. As they approached each other, a strange conversation ran through the minds of all three. Before Project Stigma is completed, there's a chance that humanity put it to end and find a better alternative. This is absurd. It's like trying to teach ants on a plane to prove the poinker, Ponaka? Point and care. Ponka. The person that brought me to this world doesn't know about Ponka, and why compare yourselves to an ant when you're inherited knowledge and wisdom from humans? Humanity can't overcome anything, neither can we. This is the only thing they've taught me. The idea you inherited has been through a lot, but this conversation has proved humanity can break away from fate, and so can we. But Project Stigma is completed, and there is a chance for humanity to put an end to it and find a better alternative. Are they talking in the spiritual world? Not so much talking as repeating. Yes, they're only seed ideas. They aren't capable of creating new ideas, just like, oh, I'll save this example for later, actually. Bronya hates cliffhangers. But I hate to spill the tea. Oh, this character sucks already. I'm sorry. No. I hate to spill the tea. Bro, you're like not even a person. No. That's using tea right there is just a shit. Nah, that's shit. That's dog shit. That's dog shit. Hey Levi, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Why the fuck would you use I hate to spill the tea? Why don't you tell me where these sounds are coming from then? Even though we've never met, you're more reasonable. Unsurprising since we both worked for World Summit before. These voices are collected from people's dreams. Yes, the same people that Project Stigma has already absorbed. And since you're so interested, I'll show you some more, yeah? Humanity will eventually perish. Mantis, Divine Keys, all struggles are but an elegy before the coffin lid falls on us all. But civilization won't die. Like Saya said, this is the initial purpose of Project Stigma. You know the fire in London that took tens of thousands of lives? That was the last memory I inherited from the culprit. Don't leave me with that memory. I understand the pain, or rather, it's why I'm here. Please accept Project Stigma and face your sins with me. You must fill the cracks of your soul with your own blood and tears. It's not hypocrisy, but putting your soul to rest. This is getting really creepy. But about the fire, Bronya remembers that there being a fire lit in London, but that should have been hundreds of years ago. That's right, for Project Stigma, the information it can gather isn't limited to the present. All history and culture, so long as it's part of human civilization, can nourish the stigma. You should be familiar with that, right? She looked at Bronya as she spoke. What she meant was obvious. She seems to have some kind of feeling toward the Herrscher of Reason. You might have collected fragments of consciousness, but there's still something that's confusing me from the start. Why would Project Stigma be used like this to fight finality? You misunderstood. Project Stigma is not a way to fight finality. The end it can reach can be described as embracing and transcending finality. Embracing? You've heard this somewhere before, May. Since you fight against Honkai, you must wish to know where finality comes from. Not really, personally. I could give less of a shit, but May probably, maybe. Sai will want to tell you about this himself, but it wouldn't hurt to tell you a little bit beforehand. Lord Serpent knows where the Herrscher of finality comes from. Absolutely. After all, we're all successors to the Moths. Don't think Bronya is, by the way, but fair enough. But to tell this tale, we'll have to go elsewhere, try to keep up. That's the T. I think that has to be one of the shittest lines they've ever used in Honkai, is that's the thesis, especially from this kind of character, who is practically like just never been to Earth or anything like that. They're just an entity that was created out of nothing. Kind of a shit line. Trying to fucking be hip with the kids. Oh yeah, these are the idea things. I don't fucking give a shit about your ideas. There's a bunch of random old men talking. That's the last thing I want to fucking hear is old men talking about their ideas, dude. Oh my god, there she is. She's just standing there, menacingly. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Bit of a chesty. Oh, bit of a chesty, dude. Oh, ho, ho, nice. Very nice. Is this a door? Can I go? No. Trying to stay hip and contemporary. Yeah, trying to be annoying as well, this goddamn hair. Welcome to my final crater. If I waited you here, could I have welcomed you with that line? This is the stage where generations of civilizations fought for their fate. Humanity failed over and over. The cycle went on. Innumerable dissimilar wills created similar fates, and they all ended here. Kiana Castellana, Bronze Edge, Radame, how lucky and sad of you to be Hershers that are free from the samsara. Samsara? Yes, the endless cycle of death and rebirth of this world. Haven't you garnered info on it? If someone hadn't cut the thread of fate 50,000 years ago, this cycle would have continued on Earth. Even though the thread is broken, as long as humans can't live together with Honkai, imaginary energy will continue to flow into the cocoon of finality and catalyze the birth of the Herstra of finality. In that case, if we destroy the cocoon of finality or something... World Serpent wants to do the same, but that's impossible, Kiana. After all, if you want to see the cocoon of finality, you probably need to have the power of finality. Well, it just so happens, main character right here, she probably is. She probably does have it, to be quite frank with you. Written in the fucking books. The last dude looks like her, she probably is it. Especially for you, Kiana. That means you need to become the Herstra of finality. What? Let's not do that. Herstra of finality, Kiana needs to become the Herstra of finality. But, how is that possible? That was a very large cliffhanger right there. How is that possible? Discussing finality is like discussing death. It's very short. No one has come back from death. We can't discuss what dying feels like. I'm pretty sure Fu Hua could actually. She's died many times. That's her whole shtick. If we use this metaphor, then what the World Serpent is doing is basically redefining death. Ah, yes, ominous to say the least. Redefining death. No, I don't, honestly, she's kind of an annoying woman, I'll be honest with you. I don't find many women annoying in this game, but that one right there, just the fact that she is a Shariak. Ooppa! Nope, we can't do that. Can't just jump off a cliff, my bad. But on a more serious note, my statements about death only serve to prove my arrogance, true and real. Although I'm capable of treading the boundary between dream and reality, I'm incapable of witnessing truth beyond space and time. Like the wreckage of finality that has turned into moon rocks, it will not awaken again due to the Sire and everything you shoulder. And I wouldn't have been able to escape from the vast stigma space and appear before you if it weren't for the path paved by my senior. Your senior? Yes, an irredeemable one at that. Thinking of something, Hare stared at Bronya and let out a low sigh. Bronya means to ask something else. You said the statue like great finality would never awaken because of everything Kevin and we shoulder. What does that mean? If your anchor points in the sea, then Project Stigma stands for the broad sky. You're down to earth and Project Stigma sounds far-fetched, but you're actually trying to solve the same problem. And if you find it too metaphorical, we can approach it from another angle. Two breed forms is not the fundamental purpose of World Serpent. Fuck we. It's only a life form suitable to go beyond finality and carry on human civilizations. You mean World Serpent hasn't found a way for common people to go beyond finality at all? You can say that, after all. If we could accomplish that, why would we gather here on the barren moon and fight each other for their own justice? In terms of overthrowing humanity and destroying lives, you're no different from the Hersher of finality. Oh, angry angry Kiana. Clip it and ship it. Hit it with one of these ones. That's gonna go into a emote right there. That face, boom, anger. From where you stand, I guess so. What is civilization? We're asking the real questions. What is civilization? How is civilization? When is civilization? The passing of years and generations, the flashing by of different faces and similar stories, abstracted into blurry consciousness and ideas. Eventually, faces fade away and stories are lost, simplified into featureless existences, just like those seeds of ideas. The argument between you and World Serpent is whether such existences is a representation of civilization or the nature of civilization. Bronya comes back and keeps it real and keeps it absolutely a stack. We just want normal lives, to be quite frank. We just want to live our schoolgirl lives. Like, what the fuck? We were just having a jolly good time in school, reading books, playing sport, and now we're here on the moon. We just want that back, huh? What's up with that hair? But childhood will end, and adults will take responsibility for the world. Yes, that's exactly how the world works here. That's how it goes. It is what it is. It is what it is. Then Project Stigma is a crappy way to be responsible. But it's fair. Nah. Wrong. It's literally the opposite of fair. You're doing shit just because you deem it fit. Or deem it fair, you fucking idiot. That's not... Haven't you heard the saying that you can't have both freedom and equity? I haven't actually. Like, you say it? Never heard of that in my life. Freedom and equity are not absolute. We can't accept Project Stigma because it's absolute. This is a technical issue, Bronya, because absolute is the most operable. For example, Project Stigma will not exclude people from civilization simply because they're bad or have done evil. You should do that. They're fucking evil, aren't they? The Stigma will record all the ideas created by human history regardless of their worth. On top of that, if human civilization is good, then the integration brought by Project Stigma must also be good. Well, not necessarily. Bro, they're just like trying to preach to you like corruption in a sense, right? Oh yeah, if I own everything, but I'm a good guy, and I own it all, everything's gonna be good. It's not really logical now, is it? Fuck here, you're not the brightest bunch. You're not the brightest apple in the fucking pear tree at this point. That's not a saying, but I've just made it. Even if no one will be able to feel the goodness, they really use the word goodness here, just the goodness. Why won't they? Be it humans that were Hersh's, Durandal, Lisu Shang, or me. Everyone can continue with their life in the new world. You only need to patiently wait until Earth is rebuilt by Project Stigma. The only difference is the new world. Infants will not undergo the overlong process of learning and growing. You will be born as a middle-aged man. Incredible. They will sense everything that is known, namely ideals, perceptions, and wills in your language, via the stigma at birth. To my knowledge, that's what many people seek for a lifetime. People don't grow overnight, you fucking idiot. Well, of course, actually. But that only applies to humans. For life forms built on stigmata, they begin their journey into the unknown on the shoulders of humans. This is also known as ending childhood with civilization. Everyone, please don't forget my introduction. Here, I want to forget you as a person. I'm not a human, but a new species brought upon this world by Project Stigma. For me, those static dull seeds of idea are not much different from first birds or southern apes. What the fuck's you know what? Talking too much about myself deviates from your intention. I fully understood you'll protect humanity's story, but not the story itself. It's highly different from my form of existence, but I do look forward to seeing the fruits of your endeavor may yield. such as surpassing the action itself step by step. Are you saying? I said nothing. But I believe on Project Stigma's main battlefield, you can make a difference. Project Stigma's main battlefield? Earth? Yeah. Where answers to all the mysteries are kept, not this dead planet. If you wish to free humanity from Project Stigma, breach the final blockade and head there. That is, if you can seize the opportunity. Why tell us this? It goes against your position. Position? Ah! You misunderstood me! I'm helping World Serpent complete Project Stigma because of a ridiculous trade. Look like you've got some stories to tell us. Strictly speaking, they don't belong to the present me. Anyway, they're meaningless and trivial compared to yours. Bronya looked at her with watchful eyes, weighing her every word. Hair just sighed softly and said no more. The silence was fucking awkward. What do you think, May Bronya? No flaws, but no substance either. Indeed, what she said sounded astonishing, but that was it. Only one question remains. Do we kill her? Why is she telling us this? Knowing their thoughts, Hair smiled bitterly. I knew it would be hard to win your trust. Yeah, Hair, you just told us you were a newborn crystal. That doesn't make much sense now, does it? Makes sense, though. From humanity's perspective, everything I did is unacceptable, no matter how much I explain. It's hard to say they benefit humanity directly. Good thing you know. Great self-awareness there, Hair. Great self-awareness. Long ago, let me tell you a tale. Long ago, someone told me if you act in the best interest of someone, they'd eventually understand you, even if they didn't like the choices you made. That was the biggest bunch of bogus you were ever told. That is the biggest piece of horse shit information you were ever told. Yeah, if I just think I know what you like, you'll eventually like it, right? Fucking idiot. I'm it's iChanty programmer, nonsense garbage, our fiery newcomer, power more power in our journey in this summer. Together with an essence as our streamer, let's get horny fellow viewers. You know, Hershravada, I respect that one. That's a good one. Sure, why not? Yeah, let's yeah. Let's. Sure. Welcome to the stream though. I hope you're having a great evening. The reason why we're in this situation is probably that I don't understand humanity well enough. You should probably try to then. She lowered her eyes and sank into some kind of reminiscence. If I help you more, will the trust between us grow? That's kind of how it goes here. I don't know if you know this. You probably don't because you're a newborn inanimate object, but you don't just trust someone because they exist. You know, you talk it out, you blah, blah, blah. Oh, how are you? Good day. Oh, yeah, nice. Blah, oh, how are you? Oh, good day. Blah, blah, you know, and then boom, now trust. Oh, hello, trust. No. I know you wish to confront Sire, and he's also expecting you, but even if you simply intend to have a friendly exchange, you'd probably end up disappointed. Not necessarily, actually. A sudden gasp stopped her there without any sign. Hair reached for Bronya. Oh! With mains, groans, and counter screams in the background, Hair's voice sounded in Bronya's ears between the vortexes of power. If you have to see him and put yourselves in danger, before that, please allow me to remove the restraints Project Stigma has imposed on you. What? Bro, I hate it when they just do a black screen. I don't know. Do like some sort of fucking like panel. Always, I don't do the black screen that just kind of tells you what happened. Have like a picture, like they sometimes do, rather, not always. They have like a picture that's kind of showing what's happening, like all of them in pain and like and then like telling us instead of just a fucking black screen. I want to know what she did. Dull pain and shock gradually faded. The girls exchanged the same look of astonishment. May, you. The spiritual restraint is gone. The girl named Thunder. No one calls her Thunder. The girl named Thunder. No. Her name's May. Was discharging electricity again. In her equally surprised gaze, Bronya looked at her own hands. So Bronya also. But before she could think, a sudden emptiness attacked her. As if punctured balloon, strength as mighty as the ocean, flooded into her body and then vanished instantly. A cacophony of voices sounded in the depth of her awareness. They were the pasts and wills sealed in the Hersher of Reason's core. So the opposite of Hersher of Reason. So it just whispers in Bronya, get truth upgrade. Because it's a story stream, just try to keep spoilers to a minimum. That's not a big one, but just a warning. I think during story streams, I'll try to do that. What's going on? The Hersher's core rejected me? When she opened her eyes, she saw 3 pairs of concerned eyes. They were Kiana's, May's, and Hare's. At least May isn't having the same reactions. Are you okay, Bronya? Bronya shook her head and looked down at her hands. As she expected, they looked powerless. Sorry, judging by your conditions, I can't help you more. Why is... I've lifted the spiritual restraint on you, which should have restored you to your state before coming to the moon. But the reality is the opposite, so I assume... She gave Bronya a meaningful look. The root of the problem lies in the origin of this power. As she said, I can feel the core rejecting me. But this has never happened. What's going on? Something's not quite right. When Hare met Bronya's eyes, she simply blinked and smiled calmly. It's not an illusion. She's keeping something from us. Don't worry, I'm okay. The question is, Kiana May, are you two ready? The girls froze for a second. They showed a knowing smile. Oh, of course. I may not be the right person to say this, but you have 0 chance of winning if you face World Serpent's sire in your current state. If you choose to recuperate, I'll create a suitable space for you, and he'll gladly wait on. As long as Project Stigma hasn't fully converted Earth, and despite that, you still insist on talking to him, right? You pointed out we must get back to Earth as soon as possible. Even if we recuperate, we can't shorten the power gap between us and Kevin. It'll only make him look down on us. That's right. Surprisingly, Hare locked eyes with Bronya for a moment, her expression meaningful. That explains. I understand, please go ahead. He's not too far down. Alright. Raiden means thunder in English, but you know what doesn't mean thunder in English? May, which is her actual name. Her name is May, not Raiden. It is Raiden May, but not just Raiden. I wouldn't call her Raiden. The man named Kevin stood amid the silence, as he had been accustomed to for 50,000 years, the fucking loner. In the past, he had let the tides of memory and thought crash into him, while ruminating, fucking hell, on a past that had eluded all for tens of thousands of years. Until now, when he stopped dwelling on the superfluous. Today, he only needed to wait, for the river of time had long since flowed into the sea. It's over. It's over. Good. Aren't you curious about what I did? You looked somewhat surprised when I came to you actively. I even reminded you that dream catching can only aid Project Stigma so much. Aren't you worried? No need. No need, everything is futile. But every futile effort means something to humanity, don't you agree? If not, then what did you do that for? The fluctuations in the nearby space brought by the power of finality had not fully subsided. That's only a way of communicating. Withdraw yourself, they're coming. Any chests? Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, fuck off, Kevin. Oh, oh, oh! Hey, let me up. Looting before fighting. Oh, this is another one of those things. Yeah, listen, I don't need to fight Kevin. He's a bit of a bitch. And can we go down there? Oh, we can. What's over here? Yeah, screw fighting Kevin. Nobody wants to touch him. He's a weirdo anyway. This space seems to be kind of an anomaly, the broken bridge. Yeah, sure. Oh, teleporters. Oh. Oh. Oh, enemies. Hello. Oh. Bro, there's loot down here, dude. We're looting. Kevin Schmevin, as they say. To be quite honest, we probably should go just finish whatever the hell. Ah, it tapped out. Challenge Kevin. The beginning and end. Wow. Kevin with elf ears. Mr. Blue Elf Kevincia. True, Alicia. Let's get another thing straight first. Kevin, that's no way to start a... Hello, where's the hello? Be cordial, you fucking idiot. Fuhua isn't here. She's my only comrade left in this world, and an admirable opponent. But Project Stigma doesn't need that, so I didn't mind giving her a moment's rest in my own way. In other words, it's the same thing you did back in North Africa, right? I'm just happy to know she's fine. Indeed, but more importantly, as with her, I won't reject your requests for battle. Kevin, I know the story. Why you have to do this. So this is not a duel, but a conversation. You can ask. Bronya will go first. No matter the cost, humanity shall purge Honkai. For you, the cost includes humanity itself, doesn't it? You got one thing wrong, Hersha. Humanity will never die. Even if the human race ceases to exist, civilization will be passed down. I feel like his idea of humanity and civilization is just fucking dog shit. Even if we're all dead, no, we still are there. Kevin, you're a bit of an idiot. You don't have much of this. It's the same as dinosaurs evolving into birds. Nah, they're not birds. They're not dinosaurs. They're two different things. They're not the same. Different classification. Even if it'll push today's humanity to extinction. Species can only choose between extinction and stagnation. Humanity is not an exception. Right, and May, you know full well there are no perfect solutions. Of course, I know what prices you pay to get hold of the worst of plans. But Kevin, before all is settled, we from this era have reasons to find a better solution. I'm not talking about Kiana, Bronya, Fuhua, or myself. I'm talking about everyone living in the moment. The Moths was once an organization where the majority ruled. You saw what became of it. There's no reason for you to decide the fate of humanity. When finality decides the fate of humanity, it needs no reason. If you say so. Kevin, I have a question that bothers me the most. The finality. What is it? The man looked up. Through a veil of Honkai energy, he gazed into the bottomless darkness above. He fell from the sky that day. The people on the ground looked up and thus saw the starry night sky. Some believe unfamiliar civilizations will easily develop mutual animosity. But in all fairness, this is common among people who meet by chance, since such a self-destructive tendency can be viewed as the original sin of wisdom. Then, the fear of loneliness and the longing for the same kind must be equally prevalent on a cosmic scale. I can't read. So imagine such a being deep in the starry sky. Like humans, they are rooted in a planet. But unlike humans, they went further and merged with the planet. Their will is omnipresent and everlasting, and their hearts are undivided. If such a civilization existed, what do you think it'd wish for? As I see it, they would desperately want to hug its kind. And Kevin took away from that conversation, destroy all humans. Let's hug each other. Destroy all humans. Yeah, fair enough, Kevin. Yes, that's the ultimate conclusion of our era drew. Finality is an extraterrestrial manipulator of fate. It cycles human civilizations over and over. I see no problem. So its maker could find its kind. So that's why Project Stigma is guaranteed to succeed. Yes, it cuts into the weakness of finality and dominates it in an undefiable way. Your explanation only left Bronya more puzzled. Do you really believe this counts as defeating Honkai? No, of course not. Because you can never defeat Honkai. He's gonna say that next. No. Paying the price and defeating Honkai, that is an issue for humanity. Of course, there's no doubt that I am human. This man said this unironically. This man right here, that guy. There's no doubt that I'm human. Sorry, Mr. I have a tail, horns, and a wing. Ah yes, humanity. Which is exactly why I expect you to transcend everything. This man is an absolute fucking clown. Human, by the way. Fucking human. It's like Thanos that 50% of the population so that will evolve better in the future. No, Thanos didn't do it for that reason. He just snapped him to make life easier for the other 50%. Because, like, they were going into there was too many humans for the amount of resources on Earth. Or in the universe, rather. I think he did the universe, I can't remember. Besides, with pointy ears, true, yeah. He's literally just the furthest thing from human at this point. Huh? Oh, fuck. I have to fight Kevin again? Have we fought this version of him? I don't know how to play this version of Kiana, or any of them, to be quite frank. I'm not reading. I hate combat. I hate during combat dialogue, I'll be honest with you. Oh, you get frozen. Hey, what's up, King? Kevin, I'm more human for 50,000 years? Oh, true. He's lived for 50,000 years. Must be more human than the rest of us. The clownery of this man is ridiculous. Walking clown. I didn't hear a single word he said because I hate mid-combat dialogue, I'll be honest. You can read because you won't be dead, or just have a human, have an English translation. Or have an English dub, rather. So I don't have to actually read and I can listen. That's another solution. Press J! Oh, we already pressed it, never mind. Oh, again. They will only reignite! Ah! With the power of friendship and will and fire, we transcend and... What are we hitting? Yo, what the fuck are you attacking? Yo, what are you... What is happening? Hello? Is Kevin not loading in? Kevin's not loaded in! Where's Kevin? No! Kevin! Oh, we killed him. True. We killed Kevin. Yes! Yes! He's dead! Where is... Huh? Bro, he's just invisible! Mihoyo, why is your game shit? What's wrong with your game? My immersion! Instantly everything's ruined! Come on! What the hell? Oh, he's back, he's back! Okay, nice, he's back. Bug at good moment. Yeah, I know, right? That was like the fucking, like the time action fucking mode, and I get a bug that Kevin disappears. That would have been fucking sick. I just had Kiana swinging at, like, air. That's fucking, bro, this game is crangled. Oh. Ow. Help me! Oh yeah. Oh, we're 26 HP. No more hits. We can't get hit anymore. Nice. Don't underestimate the power of finality. Don't underestimate these nuts, Kevin. That's about you don't underestimate these nuts. Hey, Sorkon. Oh, we're dead. We're dead. What would Mr. Yang do in this situation? I'm not sure, Bronya. Mr. Yang's kind of not here. Oh? Oh, that's the new gun. That's her new gun, right? Oh, shit. Jay? Oh. Too slow! What'd he do? Time slow? Time stop? Did he fucking stop time? Animation? Ah! Bronya lets go of the Super Balls, the Dragon Balls, the only Dragon Ball in existence. Oh, Shadow. Oh, oh, the best character makes an appearance. Herstra of the sentence. Oh, Kevin gets sucked off. Where'd he go? Fu Hua. Herstra of sentience comes in clutch. Here it is. Come on, give me the sauce. In the end, Fu Hua and Herstra of sentience protected us. Using a pseudo-black hole to buy time, this is the same strategy Mr. Yang used on the moon. Alas, this outcome is unexpected, but simply buying time doesn't sound like the path you seek. Why must humans do such futile and sad things? Well, Hare, you're not a human, so you wouldn't understand. But the outcome isn't so bad. I feel a bit sorry for my sire. But as new friends, we need to spend some time together, don't we? You. Before she could say another word, an intense blankness, assaulted her, and pulled her into the darkness like anesthesia gas. Silence ruled the field, and so Bronya and her two friends fell into sleep and the bubble universe again. That's the end. Oh no, oh, we still got more. Okay, we're not done yet, okay. Bro, what? Oh, come on. What?
Is all power you need to use your Ultra Instincts? Bro, I wish I did. Ah, suck Kevin? Hey, Fu Hua sucked Kevin right off.
Bro, what? We're just back in a fucking bubble universe? Oh, fuck me. If someone took what they were going through for a dream, then right now she was experiencing the most ludicrous part. Standing by the elevator, Celia looked down into the dark hollow. An imposing might kept surging up from beneath, tainting the air with a sense of danger. Worried about her friend, Celia returned here after making sure the sanctuary was safe, only to find herself engulfed by the sinister air. Obviously, her partners were in the middle of an even tougher battle, and their opponent... Huh? As time passed, the might grew weaker. All anomalies are fading away, but why can't I sense Bronya and the others? What's happening? I can't simply wait. Yadayo. Oh. Oh shit, where the fuck are we? Honestly, Hare's kind of a fucking weird character, dude. You could introduce her and she's instant powerhouse. Kind of feels like a Kevin introduction, which was garbage. Instantly just does everything. Instantly just an overpowered character you introduced. Kind of sus and kind of garbonzo, but oh well. Oh, I'm a Shariak. I must be super strong. What's this? Oh, they kind of have the Genshin Impact, like little guide things that pop up. There are many rune traps. Interact with them, and they light up in a specific sequence puzzle. Walk over the rune traps in the same sequence to obtain rewards. Alright, don't mind if I do. 1, top, left, bottom, left, top. Fuck, I don't think I'll be able to do this one. Ba, 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 ba. Ooh. That is not a chest. They are artifact shards left on the moon. Repair artifacts. Thanks, like, bro, that gives you like 1 second to read like 12 fucking years of like text. Hello, please. Please give me some time to read. Oh, hello. Dissipating crystal energy. Touch of the dissipated crystal energy that is widely present and follow to the finish to obtain rewards. Ah, like a Sealy. Okay, well... Honkai leakage. Attack the areas infiltrated by Honkai leakage to obtain rewards. Ah, so they're just adding kind of like little puzzle things. Oh, that's nice. For real, Ven, Kevin is such a great character, but by the way, they do him kind of trash sometime. This whole... Kevin at the start, terrible, and right now, Hair is not much better than anything. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really vibing with Hair's kind of character. She just, just infinitely knows everything and is a powerhouse, although lore-wise, she shouldn't know everything and shouldn't be a powerhouse. Because all she is just information, the physical embodiment of information. Nothing to be afraid, Sealy says. Well, fair enough. Kind of just a lot of things just kind of don't feel good. I'm just basing this all off of feeling. I'm not really like kind of basing this off of actual like information and whatnot. It's just like, it just doesn't feel good to see this or like, or kind of like read a lot of this stuff because it's just like, well, how is that happening? Why is that happening, you know? So maybe if my, comments on Hair and Kevin a bit unjustified in a sense, but it's like, it's just a feeling, and that's usually what a story's there for, is the feeling part of it. But hey, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. You never know. I know YouTube took GG emote away, too toxic. Probably. Did they really? No way. No way they took the GG emote away. That was a good one. That was a good emote. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Sealy, don't be afraid. Sealy, don't be afraid. Right, Sealy, don't be afraid. Bronya told me to fear would rob people of their reason and throw them into panic, so I mustn't be afraid. Yeah. No. Hey, you're not alone. Oh, is this what's her face? What's her name? Veliona? Is this the other Sealy? Bronya and Co must be trying to get in touch with me. I'm not alone here, and I can't give up. Is this what's her face? It's YouTube, since when YouTube prioritizes their tube. That's a good one. Their tube. It's true and real. Their tube. Stigma Kevin may be a better person? I have no idea what you mean by that. Like, just Kevin by himself is classified as one guy. I wouldn't classify this Kevin versus the other Kevin as different. They're both acting the same. Like a bunch of piece of crap. Like a bunch of piece of crap. That's exactly how I wanted to say that. It seems we have like a story to follow, but we've unlocked a bit of freedom of transportation, I guess. We can kind of walk around and teleport and shit. Is this a door? Maybe. Interact. Oh, you're such an idiot! Huh? Huh? The most familiar voice was suddenly heard again, and filled her with joy of getting something precious. Sealy stood still tearfully and forgot what she was about to say. Ah! Very nice. It was Veliona. Before her eyes was the limitless mind space. It was an environment Sealy could not be more familiar with, but right now the equally familiar figure was missing from the picture. Sealy? Uh-huh. Bewildered, she looked around but could not locate the source of the voice. Where are you? I can't see you. Don't worry, I'm right here. Sealy? Wait a minute. Don't turn around. Give me a moment. Hey. Hey, dude, what's up? Sealy turned around before the words were finished. Oh. Alright. Fair enough. What happened? Are you alright? I'm alright. How can you be? You just because you were in such a hurry and I wasn't ready. But you were gone for too long. I said I'm fine. I just ran into a tough guy and got stalled. Are you questioning me? There's nothing I can't handle. Sealy? Why do you look like you're gonna cry? Probably she is. Fine, it's my fault. I shouldn't have shouted at you. I was just thinking about how useless I am. Don't spout nonsense. The fact that you're standing here is already a feat. But you really didn't encounter anything dangerous? Don't worry, Seely, I didn't encounter anything. But I can't help thinking. If I was strong enough, I wouldn't have lost Seely, and I would have found Bronya and the rest by now. And if... Enough already. Looks like you'll blame yourself for everything if I don't explain the situation properly. Let me tell you, something really strong and frightening took me away. It took so much effort just to find the opportunity to escape. It wasn't easy coming back to your side, so you should treat me gently. And the next moment, she was wrapped in a warm embrace. I'm so relieved that you came back safely. I'm back. No picture! This game dev team sucks! Give us a picture, brother! Oh, black screen, and they hugged. Show it! What about ER, Kevin? Still a cringe lord. Anyway, this explains, this is how Starchasm Nyx is created. Starchasm Nyx is the, oh, is this Starchasm Nyx? I can't fucking remember. Well, this is this version of Veliona. After some time, you just said you met a strong enemy. What happened? On my way from the sanctuary, I couldn't sense anyone at all. Could that be related to the enemy you mentioned? Who knows? That fellow said that we're the same kind. Same kind? That brought back unpleasant memories for her. Who's there? You sly jerk, where did you drag me to? Come out or I'll make you regret this. As expected, you're exactly like her. Enough about me or her, who are you? I warn you one last time. Come out right now or you'll pay the price and regret it for the rest of your life. What an impatient child. Are you alright? It's fine, it's nothing. Anyway, since I'm here, we won't fall for the world serpent's trap again. That person said I'm a natural form and flattered us for no reason. Oh. Oh, it was just, no, I thought it was gonna be someone, like, cool. Thought it was gonna be, like, someone interesting. It's just fucking hair again. Didn't you say you wanted to see me? I'm here to fulfill your wish. It's truly rare to see someone who is willing to share their body with a completely different soul. Perhaps you don't know how difficult it is to open your heart to each other. Really, I don't want to be your enemy, I just want to get along with you. Anyway, that jerk pulled some strings and made me... forget it anyways. After controlling me for a long time, she finally distracted, I jumped on it and escaped and as soon connected with you mentally. Anyhow, you really won't understand how weird that person is. If she ever dares to appear before me again, I'll make sure she gets a taste of my true power. Seely hesitated for a while before gripping the hand of the other tightly. As long as you're okay, or you're back, whatever happens, we can face it together. As long as you're back. What's wrong? Didn't you say that those friends of yours... So that's it. Let's hurry. Go, go, go. And so, Seely found an answer. There was nothing aside from a pitch black hole. That thick darkness exerted terrifying force, attempting to devour everything that approached it. Looking at how damaged the stone wall was around it, it had definitely seen some vicious battles in the past and present. Yet now, other than the black hole in the center, everything was gone as if nothing ever existed. This is... If you want to get sucked in, Seely stopped and stared at everything before her. A gaze, fear and worry tugged endlessly at her heart, as if they were going to tear her apart. Bronya! We're in trouble this time. Ah, that was chapter 33, part 1. Okay.